All right, everybody. I just got word. Are you ready for some truly incredible mastery over blocks? The TGM race starts now. Get hyped. Let's go.
Awesome.
All right. Hi, everyone. Yeah, my name is Kitaru, and I'm here with Color Thief. We're going to be commentating on this TGM 4-player race today. We're old grandmasters of the game, and we've demoed it previously at Games Done Quick in 2015. Yeah, your runners today are going to be JBroms or JBroms. Either pronunciation's okay. We've got Party Man X. We've got PiePusher. We've got Switch Palace Corner, aka
What's
SPC.
really cool about these folks are, they all picked up the game after it was demonstrated at GDQ in 2015. So what you're about to witness is a new wave of players, and they're not just run-of-the-mill players. They're some of the strongest players in our community. So just so you know, healthy, happy community. We like to make it easy to pick up this game, and hopefully some of you find it inspiring as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll be able to kind of talk about things as we go along. So I guess if we wanted to get started, maybe we can get a countdown for people and then get the race going.
Yeah, so we did meet our donation incentive to do the race in 20G mode. So that means all the players will be starting the game at the highest possible speed. And there's also Uki mode that was met. Uki mode is a bit of a meme. It changes some of the sound effects in the game. So you're going to hear some monkey noises or something. I'm not quite sure what they are.
Yeah, uki is Japanese for like the sound that a monkey makes. It's like ook ook, and like English is like uki in Japanese. So get some interesting voice acting going on instead of the normal line clear sounds.
Okay, well, we see all 4 players are set up with uki and 20G mode. So do we want to count them down?
All right, I guess we'll get you guys started in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So the first thing you guys should notice is that the pieces just kind of appear on the bottom of the screen. So 20G, it stands for the distance pieces fall in a single frame. So 1G would mean, each frame a piece drops 1 space. 20G means it drops 20 spaces. The game board is 10 units wide by 20 units tall. So the 20 units tall means you're going to drop those pieces all the way to the bottom in a single frame, no matter what.
Right, and that definitely changes the way that you play the game as compared to the low gravity. One of the big things to keep in mind is making sure that you have a good balanced center of the playfield, because that's going to determine whether you have access to the left side or the right side of the playfield. You don't want to get trapped in a situation where you have something kind of lumpy or misshapen and you can only go to one side or the other.
Oh my goodness, just looking at these starts, you see this game is not necessarily run safe. PiePusher there, he's already quite high up on the board with a lot of material to downstack through. So pressure's on right from the get-go for PiePusher. I would definitely be clenched in his position. So, Kitaru, maybe would you want to explain? Like, lots of people, they think of Tetris. They think, this is this relaxing game that you can play when you just got some time to waste or something like that. How exactly could someone speedrun Tetris?
Right. Definitely. One of the big things that gets asked, I guess, with TGM is, how do you speedrun Tetris? What does that mean? I think a lot of people are familiar with versions of the game that are, either endless or they don't really have a like speed component to them. But the big thing about TGM is that it has a finite end. It ends at 999 pieces plus lines. And the other thing is that the leaderboard is actually sorted by time. It's the main thing that you're trying to optimize in the game. Another kind of nice thing about it is that there's a time requirement for getting the Grandmaster grade. So it kind of encourages you already to do your first speed run in order to get 100% completion of the game. One of the other nice things about it is that the RNG, like sometimes with speedruns, you have to worry, like, well, is there going to be an RNG component? Is it going to be hard? Like, are there going to be, like, unfair situations? But the nice thing about TGM is that it's kind of, since it's built with this, like, time attack consistency in mind, the piece sequences are kind of built to be fair. So we're not going to really see a lot of situations where one racer is going to have like a big advantage or disadvantage over another because they got like a really strange sequence of pieces.
Yeah, if you guys pay attention near the timer on all these players' screens, you'll see the number going up, the level counter, and the end of the game is when that counter hits 999. So the players are, roughly a quarter through the game at this point. Because it starts on the maximum speed, it doesn't get any faster as they progress. But it's still a lot to take care of. So the randomness there that Kitaru was talking about, like some of you might be familiar with other Tetris games out there. The guideline games are very popular, especially for versus or classic Tetris championships are very popular as well. Where does this game sit? How does it compare to those? Like the sequences, like the piece sequences that this randomizer generates are higher entropy than what you would get out of a guideline game, but lower entropy than, say, like NES Tetris. So it's kind of a good balance. It's nice once you get used to it. It's very nice and consistent without being too consistent. So the higher entropy means you're going to encounter like situations that you haven't seen before or were a little unexpected.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting comparing it to other branches of Tetris that people might be familiar with. I would say that if you're familiar with, classic Tetris like NES, or if you're familiar with like a modern game like, Tetris Effect Connected or Tetris 99 or something of that sort, TGM is a lot closer to, I guess, the classic side of things. It's just based on a different series of classic games. It takes after the Sega's 1988 arcade Tetris, so it's kind of like got a different like family lineage going on, but you still have the same kind of sense of, you have a single piece preview, you have no hold, you just have to, play with what's there.
So just to highlight, sorry to interrupt, Party Man X has just crossed the 500 level barrier, so he's in the second half of the game, currently in the lead. So very, very cool. Switch Palace Corner has the fastest PBs for this game. So it's definitely within his ability to catch up, and JBroms is fast as well. So there is room for the lead to be traded a little bit here, but let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, definitely. And it's also really important in playing 20G to just keep that rhythm up. You don't want to get complacent. You don't want to get slowed down. You definitely don't want to get into situations where you have to clear a lot of single line clears, because that can narrow those margins. You want to avoid those mistakes that like results in a lot of digging. Like the big thing going on is that you want to save the line clear animations that you encounter. You want to clear 4 lines at once or 3 lines at once as much as possible. You want to avoid situations where you're clearing a lot of like single lines at a time, because that means more animations, more delays, and that's going to lose some of the time that you have.
Yeah, it's like half a second or something each time you clear a line. So you really want to minimize the amount of line clear animations.
Exactly.
But yeah, where does this game fall in terms of, being a classic game? Well, it's not quite NES Tetris, but it has a lot of classic Tetris spirit with the one single piece preview. There's no hold. But then it has modern quality of life things, like it will happily buffer your inputs to simplify some of the input control schemes. The randomizer is friendlier than the oldest of Tetris games. So it's kind of like it's kind of an ultimate version of classic Tetris in a way. It's definitely challenging in an old school way, while having the quality of life things that can smooth it out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's challenging. Like, it definitely, you can see the blistering pace that we're playing at, but it's not unfair. Gives you all the tools that you need to succeed at the game. You don't need to mash in this game. The piece movement is faster than you. And you also, you don't need to worry about losing button presses due to animations. You can buffer everything in. It's really kind in the way that it is difficult. It does things in a very fair way.
I would even use a little bit of stronger language there when we talk about what this game does in terms of controls, because I think it's a major achievement in a way that not enough people talk about. And it might feel kind of weird to brag about this, but I think we need to have these conversations in especially competitive gaming communities. So the way the mechanics in this game work, you really don't need to stress your hands very much to move the pieces around. And I would wager, as cool as other Tetris communities are, like shoutouts to Hard Drop and to the classic Tetris World Championship, but I would say the TGM community is the Tetris community with the lowest incidence of RSI. So that's my bragging point. If you want to play a Tetris and you don't want to destroy your wrists, it's hard to go wrong with this game. As fast as it can get, they give you the tools that you need to not really strain yourself as much. It's very, very accessible. You can play it one-handed, even so. I don't think they were trying to make an accessible game, but the end result is that we do have one. Shoutouts to non-RSI inducing Tetris.
Awesome. And it looks like we just saw SBC get to the 900 section. We see that big purple cosmic baby in the background there with a strange bio theme that we got in the background since TGM. So he's looking to bring this home right now. Barring any major issues, I think he's closing in on it.
Very interesting theme. What's a baby doing in a Tetris game? Well, it's just kind of a biological theme. Oh no, we do have Party Man topping out right near the end. Well, that's why we've got 4 runners today. SBC coming up on the clear. There we have it. Under 10 minutes on demand is a very strong time. 10 minutes is kind of an unofficial barrier that you really understand the game well if you can get under 10 minutes, I would say.
Definitely. I like to give kind of like a perspective. The requirements to get the Grandmaster grade, you need to finish the game in 13 minutes and 30 seconds. That's kind of the baseline that they want you to get your first 100% clear. So, saving a few minutes on that. And the world record, I think, is very slightly below 9 minutes. It's like 840 or 830, I think, for 20G mode.
Okay, we do have PiePush. Oh no, so JBroms has crossed it as well, but I missed what condition he failed. He failed the scoring condition. That is somewhat unusual in this game. So in addition to being fast, you need to score above a certain minimum bar, and that means going for Tetrises. So you're kind of aiming for Tetrises not just for line clear delays and speeding up the game, but also because it's worth more points, and that's going to get you the win.
Right. There must have been just some split check that he missed somewhere along the way.
Exactly. Okay.
PiePusher bringing in his clear soon here. Looks pretty clean.
For anyone wondering what's going on Party Man's screen, I guess he decided to meme a little bit while he was waiting for others to finish their runs. He's playing large Tetris, big mode. Oh no, PiePusher He also must have failed one of the score requirements. Wow. So we only had one GM out of the 4 runs. That is interesting.
Yeah, it could be tricky to get those score requirements. Usually the time requirements are fine, but the score requirement at the halfway point sometimes can be a little bit trickier playing in 20G mode because the scoring's bounced around low gravity. But very nice. I'm glad, we got 3 clears and 1 GM out of our race. Excellent. Congratulations to SPC.
So I do believe we met the donation incentive to do secret grade.
Yeah, exactly. So I think for secret grade, what they're going to be trying to do is they're trying to be playing a hidden Tetris art challenge that is baked into the game. It's something that was kind of designed by old school Sega Tetris players back in the day, back in the 80s, and
it's pretty cool. It's like lots of modern games. Like you look at Dota and other stuff. Player created content that turns into its own thing. This is kind of like that before that was a thing, right? Like back in the 80s, the Japanese arcade players playing this Sega version of Tetris, they had mastered the game. They could max out the score. They were looking for that next challenge. So they kind of dreamed up a challenge for them to do. And they build a shape on the stack. It'll be more obvious when the players actually get into it. But you leave a hole on the board in a specific location and almost draw like pixel art. And they do like a greater than symbol or like a chevron on its side, like kind of. I think we have PiePusher already starting here. So you can see the bottom left corner will be a hole, and then diagonally it will be a hole all the way up until the right wall, and then you kind of loop it back to the left again afterwards. So it's actually extremely difficult to pull off. The main issue is when you try to finish it, you need a very specific piece sequence to even have a chance at the end.
Yeah, definitely. I think the way we have this set up is they're gonna try a few attempts. I think with like 10 minutes, we should be able to get in like around like 3 or 4 or 5 attempts, depending on like how far they go. And it's very RNG dependent at the end because the space is very tight. So while we might not see a completion, we're going to see like how far they can take it. I think if we see some completions that are around, maybe 1 or 2 spaces off the top, that would be what you can usually get consistently is, like maybe like 1 or 2 holes away from the ending. Well, who knows? We might see something spectacular happen, very lucky occurrence, and see somebody complete the whole pattern all the way.
So you've successfully done this before, right, Kitaru? In TGM1, you have secret GM?
Yes, yeah. I think it's right now, as far as I know, it's me and Oliver, I think, are the 2 people who have completed the whole pattern in the first game.
That's right. But just to emphasize, like, this is not a new game. This is an old game, but only 2 people ever, as far as we know, have been able to complete this. And it's a pretty unpopular category in Japan because you can imagine that it's not exactly high value when you're throwing away your 100 yen coin over and over again for like a 1-minute attempt at a RNG heavy challenge. So,
yeah, I think so. Definitely though, keep an eye on all our players who are here. They've put some good time into like working on it. I've seen some runs from SPC lately where he's been like 1 block away, like it just didn't give him the block he needed at the very end, or like I forget who was saying, was it PiePusher or JBroms was saying that they've had some like where just like 1 square is in the wrong place, like there's like 1 hole in the side. So definitely we'll see if we can get something going here.
Okay, PiePusher's he's closing 1 out. Let's see if he gets the last few pieces.
The shape is looking good. The approach near the ending just kind of needs to get that little like end of the staircase. Oh, a little bit harsh, yeah.
I don't think he'll get it, but that's still, this is what we mean. Like, you can get like 2 or 3 units off from the top pretty consistently with a bit of practice, but the last few pieces, that's RNG.
Yeah, it's like there's only like a few kind of situations that will work for it. So you kind of just have to, it kind of reminds me of watching, if you've seen like the Summoning Salt video about weather Tenkos and like just like measuring your percentages, that's kind of how it felt. I think that's how our players feel right now. It's just like you get those percentages, like, okay, well, I got like this many away, like I can measure how many I got, like 1 away or like 2 away, and it's just a matter of like raising that percentage until you get the RNG to finish it out. SPC has an interesting setup going right now. It's like kind of fighting with him is a little lumpy, but if he gets, it's too bad. Just a little bit to clean it up, and I think he could have got a staircase going from there.
So how close are we to closing out these 10 minutes? We don't want to disrupt the stream schedule here, so maybe the players can do 1 or 2 more attempts, and then that might be it. No, JBroms saying no. Ending sequence not working out. I'm going to restart. That's my best hope.
Yeah, it could definitely get tricky. Like I see SPC's got a lot of overhangs and stuff right now where he's like, trying to wait and like slide a piece under something. Yeah, he's giving up on this one too. Sometimes it just, the beginning's not cooperating with you. Sometimes it just makes sense to throw it away and give it another shot.
Maybe it'd be a good time for a donation readout while these players are closing out their final attempts.
Absolutely. I think I got a good one here. $250 in from Eon. It's great to see some longtime TGM friends representing the community. Looking forward to a great showcase of the game that started the best Tetris series. Special shout out to my longtime rival JBroms.
Aw.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Eon. Yeah, Eon is a great pillar of the community as well. Also a Zelda 2 runner. Yeah, she's been part of some of the previous demos. Also another player that picked up the game after seeing it at GDQ, and it's been great to hear a donation from her. Yeah, thank you so much.
Time for one
final
more?
credits. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we probably have another minute or 2 for donations.
Okay. Let's take Al the Time Shark coming in with $500. I don't understand Tetris at all. Infinite Man sent in $11.11, making a donation in the shape of Tetris's protagonist and putting it towards max speed. Let's give it an $11.11 train for heroes' sake.
Thank you very much.
And then a $13.37 donation from Freaky Bite. Heya! Amazing to see that you got this game into GDQ again. I've not been able to hang around in the TGM community as much as I'd liked to over the recent years, but I still wish all of you the best of luck for this race. Put them blocks well.
Awesome. Thanks, Freaky Bite.
Andrew sent in $300. I'm a simple man. I see falling blocks, I donate, even when it's too fast to see. Good luck to all the runners. It's TGN time.
Okay, PiePusher closing out his last attempt here. He's got a really nice looking board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely if he gets like a T to hang off the side there, maybe. But just the pieces at the wrong time. I think he's gonna have to clear down if he wants it to. Yeah, that's all enough.
No pressure, JBroms. You're our final hope. He's approaching the turnaround.
Yeah, this is a good time to be at the turnaround at least, because at 200 the gravity slows down again and it'll get faster again after this, and it gets really hard to maneuver at the top if the game is too fast. So this is about the last shot at it. Oh, interesting overhang going on here.
Having trouble closing out that turnaround.
Yeah, it can be a little bit tricky because when you have to flip around, you want to make sure that you're not, I guess, opening the hole back up. And it's kind of harder to do that at, when you're starting at the left and when you're kind of turning around at the right.
He's determined. He's like, I can't end without at least getting that turnaround done.
Okay, looks good. It's got to cover it back up again.
There we go. We got the turnaround. It's so fast, though. Secret grade is hard enough on its own. Doing it when it's fast is next level. So, Kitaru, if somebody thinks this looks cool and they might want to connect with other players and maybe learn some Tetris and compete and track their scores and that kind of thing, what should that person do?
Absolutely. We have just the website for you. If you go to theabsolute.plus, that is the domain name of the site, theabsolute.plus. It's a leaderboard, and also it has an associated Discord. We would be happy to have you and let you know anything you need to know about playing this game. Shoutouts to MHL. He created the Absolute Plus, and he's also a super skilled, inspiring member of our community. There are a handful of arcades around America and Europe and Japan and so on where you can play this game. But we're hoping for a home version at some point. It's a little bit rough having an arcade-only version of the game.
And it might be sooner than you think. The developers of this game, Eureka, have been hinting that they are working on something and can't announce it yet, which is a very strange way to announce a thing. So they announced that they can't announce it, implying the existence of a thing that actually exists or something. But there's basically some kind of home release coming. We don't know the details. If that sounds interesting to you, if you want to find out more, you can follow on Twitter the official TGM series account, which is TGM_series. So TGM series on Twitter. Give them a follow. That'll be the first place any news of this drops. Don't miss out on that chance to get a home version of Tetris the Grandmaster. Because to be honest, all these players here, they're playing on arcade hardware. It's stressful with $1,000 arcade board, maybe an arcade machine in the mix. It's a technical challenge to get any of it set up, let alone for stream capture and all that other stuff. So a home version is long overdue. It's something we've all been looking forward to.
Yeah, the developers definitely know the situation. They've been trying to make it happen. So, they know it's not reasonable for everyone to have to be able to get these arcade boards at home, and not every arcade is going to have it. So here's hoping that they're able to cross the finish line with that. And if you're interested in the meantime, definitely, come to the Absolute Plus Discord, and we'll chat with you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
Holy cow. What a display of skill. I had a front row seat to that, and I'm still not quite sure what happened, but wow. All right. We're going to try and get in just a couple more donations here real quick. Let's see. I've got $300 here from Half and Double. Prepare for trouble. And Half and Double just had to donate to cheer on my friend PiePusher11. You got this, and congrats on getting into AGDQ.